you doing, my friend?
Oh, you make me blush, you boys.
We were talking about... we're not going to get into it. We did something yesterday. We were trying to be funny. It wasn't received well. That's all the details we need. So this morning we were feeling like we needed a bit more karma. We needed a little bit of karma on our side. So we were talking about things that we enjoy about Edmonton. Do you have anything that you want to add to the list, Baggedmilk?
Yeah, I mean, okay. Yeah, I can do this. Like, right now is the best time to be in Edmonton. In the summer,
yeah.
Like last night, I took my dog for a walk. It was like 10 o'clock. It's still light out. It was beautiful. The river valley is amazing. Normally during this time, we get all the festivals and stuff. Obviously, this year's a write-off, but that's no one here's fault. But in the summer in Edmonton is the best. One of my favorite things to do, have a beer in the sun at the ballpark down
Remax Field.
At Remax Field. Going down into the river valley, exploring there, all the summer festivals, all the food, everything in Edmonton in the summer is the best. We have a great summer city.
You live down there too, don't you? Like, you live in pretty good access to the river valley, right? And all that?
I live in the West End, so it's a little bit of a there's a little bit of a trek down, but I've got a spot where I go actually kind of near the zoo, where you can go down into the river valley. There's
your naked spot.
So my dog loves it.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. Of course, somebody's got to go.
Yeah,
you always have a spot.
Next week's Canada Day. I always love going down to the ballpark. You get 10,000 people in there and watch the game and then watch the fireworks. So
we'll keep our fingers crossed for a more normal year next year.
Yeah.
No kidding, because it's such a bummer because, like Grant, you just said it. I mean, going to the ballpark on Canada Day is the best.
It's the best.
So the Hub City conversation earlier, we all picked who we thought the two cities would be. I think Jimmy, what did you pick, Jimmy? You picked Vegas and Vancouver.
Yeah.
Grant, you picked
Vegas, Toronto.
And I picked Vegas, Edmonton. Have you got a pick?
Honestly, with the way the NHL is making this, it's like this weird city version of The Bachelor that's going on for so long.
Yeah.
So today is June 24th, and they want guys to start training camp on July 10th, which isn't that far away. So I'm shocked that they haven't made an announcement. To answer the question, word on the street is kind of that Jimmy has it where it's Vegas, Vancouver. To me, it doesn't make any sense because they're both Pacific time zones. So there's going to be weird hours games for the people in the East, but that's kind of the way it seems like it's going right now. I would love to see Edmonton do it. But then, maybe we could release another video that shows some excellent parts of the rest of the province that isn't Edmonton.
I saw a couple of videos yesterday that got released that weren't like the Jason Kenney Rocky Mountains video. And
I love that. That was just that was an accidental laugh that I did not expect to have on Monday or whatever it was. Oh, yeah. Man, I was roaring.
I was just
Come to Edmonton. Look at our beautiful Rockies that are 4 hours away.
I was just on Reddit, and all the posts are people being like, 118th Avenue this morning, and it's like Banff. It's Main Street.
It's the Banff. I was having so much fun with it on Twitter. I had a good one where it was kind of like, come for our citizens, stay for the river valley. Edmonton's got something for everyone. And I posted a picture of the Eiffel Tower because it's just it was the most hilarious accidental joke that got released. It was my favorite. I love when that happens.
It's so weird when these politicians, I always wonder, does somebody not have the balls to sit him down and go, all right, Kenny, maybe we should feature, we can put the Rockies in there. That's a great idea. But maybe we should look at what the city has to offer too. Hey, everybody, who's with me? Right? I just wonder where their counseling comes from. It's odd.
Well, to me, it was funny because the video was supposed to be for families of the NHLers, offering them a look at things that they could do in Alberta while the guys are kind of socked away in quarantine, which, okay, that makes sense. Obviously, the mountains are beautiful. We all know that.
Yeah,
but
gorgeous.
To have the funny part to me was that they had to release kind of a press announcement explaining the video, which was supposed to be geared at the families. To me, if you have to explain what your promo video meant, then you kind of missed it, I think.
Yeah. So one of the things,
it was funny.
Yeah, it was very entertaining. So one of the things that we're obviously preparing for with respect to the NHL going to one of these hub cities is testing and that kind of thing. So late last week, it was released that 11 players in the NHL tested positive for COVID-19, and only one name actually surfaced, and it was Austin Matthews. My thing with that was I was sort of thinking, did that come out because people in the league don't like him, he's a bit of a dick? Or like why give that name and not the others?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how. So that was Steve Simmons broke the story out of Toronto that it was Austin Matthews that tested positive for COVID-19. I don't know how he found it. I don't know if he's got a beef with Matthews or anything. What was interesting is that his was the only name that came out. It caused a little bit of an issue for some folks because nobody had released the information. Again, obviously, I have no idea how Steve Simmons got it, but it was because it was a medical issue. People had a problem with it, and even TSN and Sportsnet didn't report on the news that Austin Matthews tested positive. So I don't know what's going on. It's weird that only one name came up, especially since he's arguably the biggest star from the biggest franchise in the league in terms of like overall eyeballs on the Leafs. So it was interesting that only his name came out, especially because he also spent a lot of time with Leafs goaltender Freddie Anderson. So now everybody's like, well, when did Freddie Anderson leave Arizona where Matthews was playing and practicing? Were they together? Were they not? Like, so there's a bunch of questions, and it was weird. Who knows? But it does raise a concern like, okay, all these guys are kind of, they're living their lives and they're doing their thing right now, because if the NHL wants to get going, they need to make sure that these guys are kind of in their bubble like ASAP. Otherwise, it's not going to happen.
I think it's got to be on the players. I don't think the NHL should be held responsible for. And if one of these kids shows up, at the airport or whatever they do before they test, before they fly out, and he's got COVID, that's on him. In my opinion, like the NHL can only do so much. They can't babysit all these idiots, right?
No, you're right. They can't babysit.
You want to play hockey? I don't know. Stay away from people. Don't go to the bar, right?
It's going to be tricky to see because, like you said, these are a lot of guys in their early 20s, and they're just trying to live their life, and they're trying to.
And they got millions of dollars. Yeah,
and but they want to play. I mean, supposedly, so. You got to make a sacrifice here, I guess. You're right.
Yeah, grow up.
We'll see what happens. We're very close to the NHL kicking off phase 3, which is training camps for the 24 teams that are going to play. So if you're getting a bunch of players, just a cluster of players all testing positive right before that begins, it's going to be interesting to see how that news develops into that phase 3 period.
I think they'll be fine. Grant seems to think that some of these leagues aren't going to get going because there's going to be too many players that test positive.
Well, even baseball, they announced hey, schedules.
There's a lot more baseball players.
Schedules here. We're starting July 23rd, but then yesterday, some of the big stars tested positive. Charlie Blackmon of the Rockies tested positive after doing a team workout.
Yeah.
So,
and it's also interesting that a lot of the baseball teams, they do their Grapefruit League thing in Florida, which is just at this point, just one of the craziest places to be in terms of COVID-19. So it's going to be interesting to see. There's a lot of Locke said it. There's a lot of these guys. If they want to play, then they probably just need to stay in their houses, and that's it.
All right, my friend. Always a pleasure. Hopefully next week we can talk about Edmonton being a hub city. On this hit.
Here's hoping.
Yeah,
fingers crossed. I feel like we've been saying that every week for the last 6 weeks, but who knows? Maybe next week's the one. We'll see.
There you go. Baggedmilk, Oilers Nation, thanks for the call today, man.
Thanks, boys.